Should like dust things off. It's like, oh man, we haven't been here in a while. It's all dusty because, like, you know, we haven't been here in so long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, it actually is.
Anyway,
we're back in
the studio.
Back in the studio.
The studio.
We're back in here for a reason. We don't come here for no reason.
No.
Reason.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Decaffeinated Photography. I'm Josh.
I'm Alex.
And
my pleasure to be with you today.
yes. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you going?
Yeah,
I'm a little dusty, and we're doing something pretty special, Josh.
Yes.
We're looking at the top 6 digital cameras, mirrorless or DSLR, for a beginner in 2019.
Wow. Crazy. While we could easily include old cameras that are good value in the used market, we are selecting cameras that you will still purchase brand new and can still purchase brand new from the store or from eBay or something along those lines.
Yes. Our criteria is pretty simple. We're looking at specs, longevity, i.e. future-proof in terms of skill and build, as well as cost. All right, all the cameras we're looking at are around the same price point, so yes. It's pretty important.
So without further ado, let's get into the 6 best DSLRs / mirrorless cameras for beginners in the year of our Lord 2019. This is going to be outdated by next year.
Yes.
Even by half the year.
Yes, even by now.
Number 6!
Number 6 is the Canon EOS Rebel T7. Basically, when it comes to entry-level DSLRs, Canon and Nikon have been people to beat. And that definitely does not change with their latest entry, continuing their stranglehold on the photography market for beginners.
The T7, which was released in 2018, comes with a 24.1 megapixel APS-C sensor with a Digic 4+ image processor.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I, but all of these have it. Its 3 FPS of shooting is pretty poor for the price you pay, but it does offer full HD video at 1080p, Alex.
What else can you ask for? A lot more?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably a bit more. 4K?
Could ask for 4K, but maybe not for $400.
Yeah, fair call.
But like $400, 4K, I mean $100 per K. I mean, that could be.
All right, anyway, look, it is kind of future-proof, this camera. It has Wi-Fi and NFC. It retails for $449 USD on B&H.
That's expensive for that camera.
Yes.
Number 5. The Nikon D3500. It's funny that the Canon and Nikon, which had a stranglehold in the market, is now the last ones that we're actually recommending right now.
Yes, they're at the end of the list.
Yeah, so coming at number 5, and for probably good reason, it has a DX format 24.2 megapixel sensor with an X-Speed, not digit, 4-image processor. One
must be better than the other, surely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, just a quick note. Did you know that the crop sensor on the Nikon is slightly larger than that on the Canon? There you go. All right, keep going.
Now I do. Once you get to this level of technology, the megapixels don't really matter. I mean, it is important to note that this is also a crop sensor, which you just mentioned.
Yes. In the body, you get 5 FPS of continuous shooting with full HD, 1080p.
Full HD as well.
Yep, and 60 FPS, whereas the previous one had 30 FPS. So which one would you pick? Yes.
The frames.
If you were to compare it to the Canon T7, it has 5 FPS, whereas the Canon has 3. The battery will last you about 3 times as long on the Nikon as well, but in place of Wi-Fi, you get that old technology, Bluetooth.
But no NFC.
No NFC.
It includes some pretty basic tech.
Yeah.
Is one of the cheapest brand new and will last you a decent amount of time going forward if you do want to continue doing photography. If you don't need glitz and glam, then this is probably the one for you. No tilt screen or touch screen, unfortunately, and doesn't have an external mic jack. So if you're getting into video and want to invest in the Nikon brand, I do recommend looking at the medium tier range, like the D5000,
5600.
Yeah, 5600. Yeah. I had the 5300. That if you want to look at the quality of the video.
Look at our first few videos.
Yeah, look at our first few videos.
Yeah, and that's still. I mean, you could still use that. I'm
yeah,
sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the D3500 goes for
$395 USD.
That's a lot cheaper than the T7.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely go for that one. That's why it's further down the list.
Yes.
Number 4. That was good.
In at number 4 comes a mirrorless powerhouse.
Wow.
The Olympus OMTM10 Mark II. The OMTM10 comes with a 16 megapixel micro four thirds sensor. It has full HD 1080p video recording, and this one offers 8.5 FPS continuous burst. And of course, all right, it comes with the special ability to be compatible with every Micro Four Thirds lens in the market. And that's a lot of them. That's a lot of them. And they're pretty cheap.
The camera also has a 5-axis in-body stabilization, which is bloody incredible when you think about it, because not a lot of cameras come with in-body stabilization in this lower range.
No, they don't.
No, it also has a tilting touchscreen, and that's also very important in that factor as well.
Yes, touchscreens are good.
Yeah, touchscreens are nice.
Yes.
In terms of the AF system, the autofocus system, by the way, if you
Thank
know
you.
what that means.
Thank you very much.
It has 81 contrast detection areas, which is a great bit of tech also. To top it all off, you can also do slow motion video.
That's pretty cool. The camera was released in 2015. However, it holds its head high at this price point in 2019. The OMD EM10 Mark II goes for $499 USD.
$50 more than the D3500. Definitely a better deal there.
Yeah. Obviously, you got the APS-C crop sensor versus the Micro Four Thirds crop sensor, which is significantly smaller, but what you're getting in the overall package is better.
Number three.
Number
Number three. In at number 3 comes the Panasonic GX85, a small Micro Four Thirds sensor mirrorless camera. While this camera was released in 2016, it offers great value in 2019, 3 years after the fact.
Yes.
This camera is perfect for those who want the best of both worlds in terms of videography and photography. While its 16 megapixels are a bit on the low side compared to the previous cameras, it still does the job, I must say.
It does the job.
It does the job.
Ticks the boxes, or it's that way. Yeah, it ticks the boxes.
Yes.
Okay, so now listen to these specs from this 3-year-old camera. Okay, these specs from this 3-year-old camera. 10 FPS, you can then increase to 40 FPS if you use the electronic shutter mode.
Oh, wow.
Ultra HD 4K video recording with 30 FPS or 24 FPS. Oh my God.
What are you even saying right now?
This camera also has a special feature, okay? It's pretty common on mirrorless cameras that we've seen today. 5-axis, right? 5-axis in-body stabilization.
We already went over that with the last one. We don't have to be so surprised.
Well, I wrote it in there and it was pretty emphatic, so we have to, I have to follow that up.
The camera also has a touchscreen and a tilting option. There are always some downfalls though, as with any other camera, such as the lack of external microphone and headphone jacks.
This is a perfect camera, and if it had that jack,
If it had jack,
it would be,
even just 2 jacks.
it would be, that's where it would be.
Irrespective, this camera packs a huge punch for this price point. Even with that downfall of not having, you can always use an external microphone recorder. A 2-lens kit is currently going for $497.99 of the US dollar. Number 2!
Coming in at number 2 is a camera that is great for its time. It is the Sony A6000. It's coming up on 5 years old now. That's pretty old for a camera. You can still purchase brand new though. So begs the question, why are they still selling it? It makes it the oldest camera in our lineup, but old doesn't necessarily mean bad. Okay, let's remember this for a second. The A6000 features a very healthy 24.3 megapixel APS-C sized sensor, powered by Sony's Bions X processor. Continuous shooting is up to a whopping 11 FPS, and it includes both phase detect and contrast detect with 179 focus points.
The A6000 was a monster when it was released. It was well before its time. It has an EVF which offers 100% coverage and also is relatively future-proofed with Wi-Fi and the NFCs.
Now this was a really large stepping stone for Sony's E-mount and a pinnacle in the development of their mirrorless system, providing great value even by today's standards. When you compare it to the specs of the other cameras that we've looked at, the A6000 can be found for $498 USD on B&H.
And now we are up to our honorable mentions. It is important to remember that doing such a general video is tricky doing something like this.
It's not easy.
We talk about this overall thing.
Yes.
With many cameras being unlucky and they tend to miss out.
But we're gonna cop a few comments saying, oh, this should have been in here.
Cameras are all tools.
Yes.
Just like yourself.
Yeah.
So they can do different jobs depending on what you prioritize. So our honorable mention goes to the original, the OG, the great grandfather, the Fujifilm FinePix X100. You can find this used at about $283.
made me fall in love with photography again. It will teach you all the ropes and could perhaps be one of the greater learning tools that I think I've come across in my time. Now, you get one lens and you have to work around it. You have to make do with that one lens. You have all the manual settings on the dials. You can't really ask for much more if you want to learn how to take photos.
Pretty much restricts you just like film. Make sure you get the right frame, or if you want to do like 35mm just point and shoot stuff, it's just very easy to do that as well.
Exactly.
And get a good photo.
Exactly.
The only thing is, there's the video on it, it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, don't use a video.
Yeah, if you want to look at the video that we did on it, review, up there.
One!
Yes, number 1. So coming in at our pick for number 1, the best value / best option mirrorless / DSLR camera for you beginners in 2019 is the XJ20. Just pretend I said that right.
All right, everyone else can click off now. If you're a Fuji hater, get out of here. We're not sponsored or anything.
Yeah, but please sponsor us.
Oh, it's my line.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Fuji X-T20 comes into our lineup with a 24.3 megapixel APS-C X-Trans sensor. Now, this sensor is identical to that on the X-T2.
How crazy is that?
So the camera is essentially 90% of an X-T2, only missing a few specs from the big fella, but they're not really that important. To set yourself up for the future, the camera has Ultra HD 4K in-camera recording and also built-in Wi-Fi.
Wow. Built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it's got the exact same sensor as the X-T2, which is the flagship model that you just said.
Yeah.
Can you tell which one of our cameras is the X-T20? I bet you can't. It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't reckon you can.
Yeah, it's because it's got the same sensor.
Yeah.
They're recording the same video.
Yes.
So autofocus is quite accurate with a 91-point autofocus system included. It of course includes Fuji's famous colors, and it also has very well-known film simulations for both photo and video. If you're using the electronic shutter, you can punch out about 14 FPS of continuous shooting.
The Fujifilm Mirrorless series are often applauded for their manual dials, and the X-T20 is no exception.
No exception.
No exception at all.
None.
It has a shutter speed dial on the right as well as the aperture dial on the lens. Anything else I'm forgetting? Let me go have a look. Exposure compensation.
Exposure compensation is what we also have on that dial
Dials
as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're definitely not biased. I mean, just because we have the camera doesn't mean that we put it on the first.
No, not at all.
It's actually a good camera, and that's probably why we bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this stage of 2019, with the X-T30 about to drop, the X-T20 is hitting a bargain price point. The X-T20 is coming in at about $599. Now we do understand that is about $100 more than our previous ones, and it does go over a threshold that we had for this, but like we thought it was worth putting in here because for $100 more, you get something that will actually last you a bit longer.
It is essentially a flagship, just without a few little extras.
Yeah, exactly. What other camera can you say has the same sensor as their flagship? Point proven.
Like, okay, so it ticks all our boxes really.
Yeah.
It is definitely future-proofed. The only snub that we can put on this camera is that it is missing the infamous in-body stabilization that the previous cameras that we mentioned did have. Only the XH1 has it in the Fuji lineup.
Yeah, so even our flagship doesn't have that either.
Yes.
We've had to use image stabilization lens, optical image stabilization,
Yes.
OIS.
Like the lenses they offer that are stabilized aren't the best lenses that you want to be using.
Exactly.
It's worth using the Fuji cameras because we love how they look and we love the colors, but that is the one downfall. So that's what we would let you know about beforehand.
Yeah. So to any of our long-time viewers, this definitely would not have been a surprise being at the top of our list.
Yes.
But we hope you have enjoyed. We hope that you give us a like and a subscription.
Let us know what your list would have been and what you think about number one.
Yeah, and if there's anything that you would have swapped out, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give us some whatever.
Yeah, but positive.
Yeah, and notification bell.
Bing. Ding, 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 ding.
And we say thank you.
Hope to see you next time in the Decaf studio. All right, now seriously, now you go.